Welcome to No One. No one, as in knowledge, no one. So the trick is, no one means for you to know where the one is all the time. And the way we're doing it here is by avoiding hitting the one.
Our work here is also amplified by going back and forth between two different time fields, double time field and regular time field. This is a great inner clock workout because it also features the subdivisions we're working on in this tune.
So it's a little bit difficult sometimes when you encounter these type of things to keep a groove going. It's a really important thing to internalize so that you can play the music smoothly and these type of things don't throw you off. Now, a good way to build your inner clock is by attacking subdivisions in different fields, right? In different time fields. So in the first part of the tune, you'll notice that we're playing a double time feel. And then on the chorus, we're playing a regular time feel where the snare is hitting on 2 and 4. Now, let's just analyze quickly what we're doing. On the A sections, the time is going by like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're playing the snare in a double time feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Double time feel means that you're doubling feel, not doubling the tempo, but the feel. It's a slightly different thing. So let's move on to the hi-hat part. The hi-hat part is very interesting. What I'm doing is I'm using the foot to close the hat. So if you do the pattern real slow that I'm playing, it's going to sound like this. Close and then 2 open notes, right? That's very gently. Now, the faster you go, the better it's going to sound. Or else, if it's real slow, your leg is hanging up in the air the whole time. That gets rather awkward. So sometimes you can hit it with the neck of the stick on the side, but I like to play it on the top in the middle of the hi-hat with the tip. And when I want to go softer, I play it on the bell of the hi-hat. So here we have the 3 sounds on the bell, right, on the middle, and with the neck on the edge. It's a slightly grittier sound. So both together, the snare and the hi-hat would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? The foot is closing with the snare like that. Now, the bass drum gets tricky. What I suggest first is to do these basic exercises for some independence with this groove. The bass drum, you're just going to play all downbeats closing with the hi-hat closing. All right? And that's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple. And then on the upbeats, this sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have downbeats and upbeats. That'll give you a real good foundation to play this groove. That's the basic A section.
For the chorus of this tune, we're going to be doing a backbeat on tune 4.
So it's real important to feel that flow so that your time stays steady. You'll notice that when you go from the A section to the B to the chorus, it's going to be difficult to keep the time. You might want to be pulling forward, and don't let the music pull you forward. Stay with the pulse. So the basic groove that we're playing there goes like this. On the snare, I'm playing a backbeat and some ghost notes in between there, nothing too complicated. The ride cymbal is doing 16th notes. On the bridge, I'm going to the bell. The hi-hat with the foot is just playing either quarter notes or eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3, right? Now let's have a look at the chart to see about the form of the tune.
The first thing you should notice about this chart is that the section figures are written on top of the staff, and the figures that you want to hit as ensemble figures are written in the middle. So basically you want to follow all the figures on the top of the staff with the bass drum. At the very beginning you have the intro. You have 4 bars and you have a little figure on the duh of 4. You just tacit on the intro. On measure 5 you come in there with a double time feel, the double time feel that we explained here. At letter A, that's when the backbeat comes in. That's technically the chorus of the song. Watch for the 4th bar there on that line. You have a hit on the duh of 4. On the next line, measure 13, that figure that starts there is a little tricky. So you want to check out what I'm doing on the performance video and copy that at first. Then be careful at measure 16. You have the decrescendo and the crescendo all in 1 bar. And then you have a bar of 2. After the bar of 2, we go into the double time feel again. Now this is a little intro bit before letter B. This is the main melody of the tune. You go to the next line, you see at the end of that line we have a bar of 3. Then at the next line, we go back to 4/4. Watch out for this line here, there's only 3 measures, and the last bar is a bar of 2. And you have a hit on the duh of 2. You'll see a fill marking there, and it gives you a really good cue that it's an ensemble figure as well. Then you have letter C. This section continues there. You go to the second page now. You'll see the first line at the top of the second page. The second bar is a bar of 3, and then you go back to 4/4 on the next bar. Then the next line, measure 39, you have a bar of 2. So there's lots of stuff going on here. You have to keep your eyes open and your ears open. At letter D, we go back to the backbeat. This is the chorus of the tune again, and this is a little tricky here. You have a first ending and a second ending. Okay, so you want to take the first ending the first time until you get to the repeat sign. You get to the repeat sign, and you go back to the top of letter B. We repeat letter B, and we go to the second ending this time. The second ending is where you will see our famous figures again here. They're a little bit tricky, so be sure to watch the performance video and see what I'm doing there. At the end of the second ending, you have some figures there and a crescendo marking into the bridge, letter E. Now you'll see the first measure here. This is kind of a recurring ensemble figure that we have going on. You'll see it in the first measure here, and then the next line, the first measure of the next line. This is also tricky because we have a first ending and a second ending to this section. So check out the first ending. There's a fill and we go back to the top of letter E, and we go to the second ending, and there's some figures there. Watch out for the second ending. There's again 3 measures in this line, and a measure of 2, 4 at the end of that second ending. Okay, so be careful there. Move on to letter F. We go back to the double time field. Notice you have a decrescendo marking and then a pianissimo marking there. That's important to keep the dynamics in mind. You have a crescendo marking and a hit on the duh of 4 at the end of that line. We go into letter G, go to the backbeat again. This is the chorus of the tune again. At the last measure there of that line, we have a hit on the duh of 3, E of 4, and of 4. Okay, make sure you hit that real clearly. The next line, you have the same hit at the end of that line. Next line there, you have our famous figures here again on the first bar and the second bar. On the last bar, you have a hit on the duh of 3, but on 4 it's slightly different, on the E of 4 and the duh of 4. We go to the next line. At the end of that line, the 4th measure, you'll see there that the figures are a bit different. The next line, we have our ensemble figures again, and a big fill on the 4th bar going into the and of 4. Okay, takes us to letter H. Letter H is the outro. The outro is real nice, lots of opportunity for drumming there. At the end of the 4th bar, you have a big fill and a hit on the and of 4, and the horns come in on the next line. Make sure you catch those horn figures. Watch what I did there on the performance video and see what I left out and what I kept in. So it's a good idea to check details out like that. On the next line, we have more figures and the ending on bar 100. Take your time with this tune. It's a really fun tune to play. Play it over and over until you have it memorized, but always look at the chart.
That's No 1. Have fun with it. Let's go.